When I published these issues, then I sent it to the centers. It was this, I used it. Then I started writing books. I wrote some books. Both Obasanjo's third time, all those things, I was the one who destroyed them. Both when he wanted to cause break or do the wars to break off from Nigeria, I wouldn't have minded it, but he wanted to put a war between the Igbos and the Core North. That was what they planned with David Mark, them in the Senate and all that. That was when Obasanjo came in that time. We'd go and look at all his appointments. He was appointing middle betters and all that. Why did not cry that the North are not represented in his government and all that? But that is under by the way story. So I used that anointed journal. I was using it to send to, power centers that destroys a lot of things. Anything they bring up, I destroy it and all that. Then after that level, eventually when I came to the United States of America here, I cannot operate as a journalist and all that. So what do? That time I started letter writing. I write letters and I give to people. I will still come to the letter I wrote to President General Trump when I came here and a lot of all of them. So after letter writing, then I started, I have to use WhatsApp to type messages. So this medium you see me as I'm dressing and all this format I'm doing, I'm the person who invented it. All this format of using newspaper. I invented it. Even IPOP people, they borrowed the content from me. Go and even ask Dialogy himself. Ask him when I was sending all this into each of and I was used to. He himself confessed that what I sent to him, my model, that I'm the only person who sends him message. He goes through my messages more than 3-4 times in a day. That was where they borrowed the concept. You have to give me the glory. That was how they borrowed the concept and they become theirs. I'm not quarreling with IPOP. I'm not quarreling, before I say this, I'm not quarreling with IPOP. When IPOP started Nnamdi Kanu, I was his greatest admirer. I was when in those days in 2015, 2016, let them play back all their tapes. Worthy contributions on, if I call IPOP, they allow me to speak anyhow I like and make in-depth contributions. I was the first person who told them, run that radio station, let it be on 24-hour service. When you finish, IPOP leader finish, Uchemopo finish, let other people, continue to run it, get other broadcasters. When you can't run it, I give you my messages, play them on your tape. As you play that Boma and all that people, I don't know whatever you call them. After that, Uchemopo himself called me that he would like me to be a presenter in Radio Biafra and all that newscaster. I accepted. The only condition I gave him, I said, I need a place where I can feel safe and broadcast the news. And an arrangement was made that time. What was the problem I had with IPOP? The problem I had with IPOP was when I wanted to know where are your pillars of your trust? What is your cardinal belief on this Chukwuka and all that and all that? I talked about Jesus, they said they don't know about Jesus. That was the separating part. I said, if you don't know about Jesus, then forget about it. I'm not interested. That was how I left IPOP. I was never a member. That was where I got disinterested. And then as progression goes on, they started blocking my lines and all that. So the saboteur aspect of the antenna, I started telling him, go and ask him. I tested 2016. I was testing him and calling him a saboteur. And he is a saboteur too. It was him that got to Nnamdi Kanu to direct. Nnamdi Kanu direct after his Kuje peace prison experience. And I will bring it, I will say, even in the series we did last year, about a plot to destroy Biafrans and all that. It was there. So when I came here in America, I started using WhatsApp messages to send messages. So when the issue of this Nnamdi Kanu came up, I think it was around 12th of September or thereabout, I could not sleep. I saw this vision of this man being killed. And I don't know how I can save him. It was a very big pressure on me. And I know that they are going to kill him. And I need him to escape. I don't know what to do. The only way I can do is to start to use my WhatsApp to type the message. I started using my WhatsApp to type messages. I did not move anywhere from 12th to 13th. I did not step out anywhere. It cost me a very long time before I typed what I wanted to type. After I finished typing what I wanted to type, I have contacts of people I know that know him direct. And I was able to send it to all of them. And that thing they sent to him was the primary reason why those his 28 Biafrans that were lost on that particular date sacrificed their life because they knew that this one is different from the other one that they have been experiencing. They know that these people came for actually to kill him because they got that tale that I sent. And it's the content that I want to read today. All these things you see, I'm the originator. I originated this concept of presenting news with newspaper clippings and all that. I invented it. The mood I see as I'm dressing, I have to get a system that will be unique to showcase me to the world. So I was originally prepared for actually what nature is calling me to do. So I'm not a happenstance, I'm not a flash in the pan. I'm original, and if you're not original, I mean, if it is not a Panadol, it cannot, if not the original, it's not the original. So you can't match me. As long as this is concerned, I'm the dawn of it. And history will record me as the man who did this to journalism. Who did this for journalism? Of all my messages I sent to them. Have you seen them play any of my messages before? They cannot. And this document I will read today is the thing that saved them Nnamdi Kanu when they wanted to kill him. And I'm going to read it. This was sent on 13th of September 2017. I didn't eat for more than a day and a half, where I was using Whatapp to type the thing. You can imagine when this thing, I didn't even know that Whatapp can take so long a note. I didn't know it was that they look at it. You can imagine what it took me to type. Now I'm reading it. I say, I'm quoting from what I wrote. I said, read this message from our Lord Jesus Christ and share with others as there is time no longer. How, the caption of the message is how Britain, United States of America, Russia, United Nations, France, Germany, Pakistan, Cameroon, Nigeria, and others plan to eliminate over 5 million Biafrans from the former eastern region, especially the Igbos, this time including people from Benue, Southern Kaduna, and Plateau State, using Muhammadu Buhari, Hausa Fulani, Sultan of Sokoto, Buratai, in collaboration with the Yorubas through the instrumentality of the Nigerian security apparatus to achieve their evil plot. My name is Mr. Chinyere Ezog. The plan is simple. Provoked or not, they are going to provoke a crisis situation using Nnamdi Kanu as the excuse. Surround and cut off all entry and exit routes in Biafra land. And that is what they want to replicate now with Nnamdi Kanu's father's burial. Look at it. I'm coming. The plan is simple. Provoked or not, they are going to provoke a crisis situation using Nnamdi Kanu as the excuse, surround and cut off all entry and exit routes in Biafra land, not using the regular Nigerian soldiers, but selected Hausa Fulani Yoruba soldiers added to Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab terrorists already laundered in Biafra land as herdsmen. How many are they releasing today? How many? How many? 1,000 something Boko Haram people released. I will still come to the issue of 16 Boko Haram commanders. I will read it to you. Those are the commanders that are leading this attack in Biafra land. So they will kill you and they will disappear. You can't even trace what is going to happen to all these Nigerian soldiers, regular Nigerian soldiers or local herdsmen. You will not. So Biafrans, be warned. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. All the young men, prepare and stay in your place. Don't go for that burial. If you go for that burial, all of you are slaughtered. Now listen, I'm still calling in the report. The plan is simple. Provoked or not, they are going to provoke a crisis situation using Nnamdi Kanu as the excuse, so run and cut off all entry and exit routes in Biafra land, not using the regular Nigerian soldiers, but selected Hausa Fulani Yoruba soldiers added to Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab terrorists already laundered in Biafra land assessment. These evil troops in Biafra land will have as backup the selected blood-testing machinery put together by the international community that the French President Emmanuel Macron commissioned last time in the guise of regional forces to checkmate Boko Haram. No, they are armies for jihad in Biafra land. Their selected members will be disguised as IPOP members that will unleash mayhem in the East, especially against the Hausa Fulanis and Yoruba communities in the East, that will give them justification to go for the jugular of IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Then the killings will commence all over Nigeria. Very, very important. They are going to carry out atrocities in the East purported to have been carried out by members of IPOP. I hope the whole world is listening to this exposition. Look at it. This thing I did not write it today. This is in what? 2017. You see, why the Arewa use and OPC, those who think Yorubas are coordinating with you are wasting your time. They are wasting, they are Masoku or whatever they did. They just re-Christian the OPC. That's the clever thing they did. Don't worry yourself. They formed it against you. Listen, Igbo, Biafrans, Yorubas formed it against you. I'm coming. Have you seen the Hausas attacking them? The only thing is that they made use of the revelations I've been making in that expose. And they overprotected themselves because they knew that the Hausas, Fulanis want to overrun them too. So they are prepared to checkmate them. But they formed that thing primarily against you. Now, I still continue. You see, why the Arewa Youth and OPC will coordinate the killings outside Biafra land as highways are blocked. Lieutenant General Tuko Yusuf Buratai leading other security apparatus, especially the Air Force, using the satellite-guided radar precision missile carrying infrared war machines, helicopters that will shuttle day and night on bombing sprees in Biafra land, supplied by America, Britain, Russia, and Pakistan, including the armored tankers, will be used to devastate Biafra land in an operation slated will be over in 14 days. Go and mark it. That is what is happening. Operation is slated to be all the air power they have been acquiring. They are hurrying America, send us, and all the ones they have. The ones supplied from Pakistan. Do you see them bombing Boko Haram? Then what are the aircraft for? Devastation of the former eastern region. Now look at it. I'm still quoting my write-up. Bodies of Biafrans will be moved to locations from where they will be flown by air and land, where their vital organs like kidneys and so on and so forth will be harvested and moved to Britain and other Western countries. Don't ever play with this. Don't ever play with this. That is how they plan to rejuvenate the economy. The body parts of an average human being, a very healthy human being, is up to $17 million. By the time they start to sell it one by one, it's over $16 million. So one person is a lot of money. And that is exactly what they're going to do. They will harvest their organs. While all these are going on, the so-called world leaders, including Trump, and including President Trump, and United Nations will look the other way to give them chance to finish up, after which United Nations will convene an emergency session and agree for a referendum when millions of Hausa Fulanis, including refugees from Somalia, Chad, Niger, and so on and so forth, who have been practicing and dressing like Biafran, takes up president in Biafra land, and the result of the referendum will be go on with one Nigeria. This was in 2017. Look at it. That is where you see the open visa policy of Buhari. That millions are marching into Biafra land. They have taken up residence everywhere, dressing like you. And that is the same referendum you are talking about. You saw when the United Nations commissioned a report by their special rapporteur who came here, and that lady that came here and gave an in-depth actual record of what actually was taking place, the extrajudicial killings and the unimaginable killings that are going on in Biafra land. And that was exactly what the United Nations wanted. That is what they used to deceive the world. So by the time they finish out their massacre, they will bring that report. Look at our report we did. And they will start to punish the people, but then they have eliminated the leader. And when you see that report, when you see them hiding, acting out on that report, you still think they are human beings. You don't know you are looking at evil men, evil people. Why have they not acted on that report till today? They are waiting for a massacre. After a massacre, you bring it. This is where the visa policy is. Look at it. 2017. This is how I still don't know because I'm still reading it. Let me repeat it. 2017. I'll repeat it. You see, what is it? While all these are going on, the so-called world leaders, including Trump and United Nations, will look the other way to give them chance to finish up, after which United Nations will convene an emergency session and agree for a referendum when millions of Hausa Fulanis, including refugees from Somalia, Chad, Niger, and so on and so forth, who have been practicing and dressing like Biafran, take up residence in Biafra land, and the result of their referendum will be go on with one Nigeria. Then what to do? I want people to listen to what I'm saying. People say I talk, I don't give solutions. I give solutions as I talk. what to do. Now listen, it's almost too late for Biafrans outside to start rushing back to Biafra land, as there will be war all over the country. Biafrans outside, instead of running away, should get their weapons, whatever it may be, and start dressing like Hausa, Fulani, and Yorubas. Immediately the killing starts in Biafra land. Wherever one finds itself becomes one battlefield and burial ground. It will no longer be like the old time when 6 armed Hausa, Fulani bloodsuckers will slaughter away thousands Biafrans. This time, Abuja, Lagos will be completely burned to ashes as we die in that battle, including myself. Biafran in Biafra land should plan ahead on how to trap Buhari's armor and weapons. They should form small groups. Go around shanties in Biafra land and outskirts bushes to locate their laundered foot soldiers in Biafra land to make them know where to strike when hostility starts. In the middle of the crisis, when hostility starts. Now listen, IPOP tells you, all the people in Lagos come back and all that, you're wasting your time. The type of war IPOP is preparing you people is not the type of war that is going to happen, okay? That was why he played that Zik something, he called the Juku rebel and all that. That is rubbish. Now because he's a CIA agent, to be very frank with you. You have to confess. He's a CIA agent. That is the truth. He used that rebel. Remember that they have been telling you, go and burn your passports and all that. Denounce Nigerian citizenship and all that. I'm a Biafran that is trapped in Nigeria. I can't burn my Nigerian document because Biafran documents, you can't use it to go to anywhere. I can only burn it when I get my country. I can only burn it when I get my country. A lot of people, like all these things are going on, they say you proper solution and you're there in America and all that. Any solution I'm giving you, I'll come to fight this battle. What I'm saying is an open something. It's not a secret. Look at me very, very well. If I am paid $12 billion to be an American citizen, I will not take it. I will not take it. The American government is sharing me. Let them mark what I'm saying. $12 billion to be an American citizen, I will not take it. If you pay me $6 billion to be partly an American citizen and a Nigerian citizen, dual citizenship, I will reject it outright. I'm a Biafran. Nothing comparable to being Biafra because Biafra is freedom. Nothing. I'm a Biafran and I will die as a Biafran. Anytime I apply for American citizenship here, let the American government, let them refuse it. I will not. This fight, I will come back. We are all going to fight and die in this battle. We are going to fight and die in this battle. We are going to fight and die in this battle. The battle, the long-fought battle of the prophet of the ages, climaxing in our own time. We are going to run to the battlefield. When you run and run, you cannot run, you jog. When you jog and jog, you cannot run. Jog, you walk. When you walk, you cannot walk. You crawl. When you crawl, you cannot crawl. You tumble. When you tumble, you cannot, with a loud breath in your heart, conjure a bomb with imagination and shoot it down on the Fulanis and they will die. You are all going to perish in this time. If I don't come back, I'm a bomb bastard. I'm looking for death. I will say it. And when I die, I will break on the girl of immortality. I will rise again and I become invincible. That is when I will deal with all you world leaders, all of you. Because that time I will know I will be boundless. There's nothing even in your room. I'll come and I'll slap you and I will go away. Nothing can hold me. I become boundless. If I'm here, I want to be in Ghana, I'll just, any location I strike with my brain, I'll be there. I'll become invincible and I'll become invincible. So I am a man chasing death. So we are going to fight this war, fight it and fight it to the last. 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 With one hand we will fight it. Cut off our head will roll and our empty body, the other part of the body will crawl and fight. This fight, you started it and you're going to serve it. We are going to show you a different thing. We are going to show you what you have never seen before. You are going to see. We are going to see men chasing death. I'm here. I'm fearless because I'm boundless because I'm fearless. You are going to see what you've never seen before. You are going to say it. It's not a joke. So during the Biafran and Nigerian war, they succeeded in calling the Biafrans rebels, so that they justify their inhuman act in the eyes of the international community. That was why IPOP was trying to to use that word that they told him that Zeke called Ojukwu a rebel. You understand me? That was why IPOP had been asking people to go and denounce their Nigerian citizenship. It was inspired by the CIA to give them a justification, so that by the time you refuse and all that, then you become a rebel to justify their conscience to the world. You understand me? That is exactly what is happening. And now that justification has come because they say they have proscribed IPOP as a terrorist organization. I've told you, N.O.K. is not the one that will kill you. They're only using him as a fall guy. They will slaughter all of you before you get there. Even the one that the police elephant will kill, according to the CP, will be justified because they have proscribed you as a terrorist organization. You understand me? So what is there? IPOP can answer IPOP outside Nigeria, but as long as Nigeria, that's why I told you we are going to have a new organization, the original owners of the land, so that will be justified. By the time they be killing Biafrans, how do you differentiate people who say that IPOP of Nnamdi Kanu and the original IPOP? I've told you IPOP of Nnamdi Kanu don't have any meaning to, don't have any meaning to the original indigenous people of Biafra. We are not servants of Nnamdi Kanu. We are not children of Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu hijacking the name IPOP is just a group of people being led by him. It does not represent Biafran people. That is all this thing Trump is doing. You want to recognize them. They are wasting your time. You can't work out because the American economy has collapsed. So you want to use under arrangement and all that. You cannot do it. Any government that is recognizing Nnamdi Kanu or IPOP led Nnamdi Kanu is wasting their time. IPOP will not pump any government in Biafra. I'm going to fight it out with all of you. All you members, you go there, you write all sorts of rubbish about me. You don't know me very well. If you know me, you cannot try that nonsense you're trying. You get to me and you go and type all sorts of comments and you type. Let me tell you, if I'm giving a commission to follow up IPOP, I will follow IPOP. Nnamdi Kanu led IPOP, I'll fold you up without spending a dime. One dime I will not spend. I'm telling you, I'll not spend one dime. When you talk of strategies, I'm a strategician. And I'll tell you exactly how I do it. I'll go to Buhari or whomever is there. The thing comes to me as an emergency and all that. Maybe the president calls me, how do you get rid of this crisis that is on us? I said, what crisis is that? He said, this indigenous people of Biafra. I said, bring it to my table, there's no problem. He said, what's the budget for this? I said, I don't need a dime. President, don't need a dime to do it. He said, what do you need? I said, I want you to make 2 or 3 proclamations, that's all. What you're going to do, I want you to grant Nnamdi Kanu state pardon, even though he has not committed any offense. Just grant him, you have to do the announcement. Then you have to release all political prisoners, all of them, just forgive all of them. All of them, just forgive all of them. Tom Polo and all of them, the ones in detention, release all of them from A to Z. That's what you're going to do. Then the third thing you have to do, I want you to make a proclamation. You people say you want Biafra, it's okay. Okay, go with your Biafra, don't worry, go, just go. But on one condition, we don't want you to disturb the peace of your people. Okay? Just those are the things, and they are going to give backings on it. You go ahead and announce it. These are the 3 conditions you give them. The last one, you just put a silent clause. Just go and form your government, but don't disturb your peace of your people, okay? They will just agree. That's how Chinese trick all these people and they enter into their death trap. They put silence conditions that you think don't mean anything, and when it comes up, you become a victim. Then what do? Give them 2 weeks alone. Me, 1 month, I fold them up. Before 2 weeks, you see them, all of them, all these socks, switch them up for all of them, they start to fly in from all over the world. Pompolo will come out of hiding. As I read, all of them will come. Maybe they want to share Biafra. By the time they come, you see what will happen. The shooting will start in Biafra land. That time, you just station Nigerian soldiers, just station them within the border of Nigeria and Biafra. The shooting will start. And one of the conditions is what? Don't disturb the peace of your people. So when the shooting starts, you get all of them from A to Z. All of them, wherever they, all of them will be in Biafra. You collect all of them. Bam, and you close all their worldwide activities. And that's the end, they will go. That's what I will do, I tell you, I will do it. That's how. Follow up your activities. Or this rubbish, you go and you write all sorts of nonsense about me. You don't know me very well. You know me, can't cry that nonsense you're doing. So we are going to fight it out in Biafra land. You cannot form any. Nobody. The yes man is the enemy. Nobody likes him. Most of the people following Nnamdi Kanu, they don't even like you. What are they following? They feel they have made investment in Biafra, in the IPOB. You know, they are contributing money. So they see it as investment. That's what is it. That is where they are spearheading all these things that closes their eyes to any reasonable solution that can extricate Biafra. They don't want to hear it. because it's already a business investment. They are paying their monthly contribution. So they are now the Biafrans. So they want to use their numerical strength. When Biafra come, they want to use it to force others, whether you like it or not, they force others to accept it. But you don't know the intricacies. Biafra is a midnight journey, and there's no light. You don't have the light. You don't see. Midnight, dark journey. Look at the judge, the Niger Delta people. You know what they are planning for you? The elders are planning. They want to remain silent. Look at them. Are they following you? Look at them. They are just lukewarm, you know. They are not following you. What do they want to do? They want you to get Biafra. When you get Biafra, they will fight you. Don't tell them that's what I said. The Niger Delta people. They are fools. Just tell me. Go on, the so-called judge. They are very wicked. Go on, Jonathan and Co. and all of them. That idiot called Jonathan. He's a fool. I don't have any regard for him. I don't have any regard for him with all this, what is Desimate, what do you call him, Edwin Clark and all that. All this is Joe militants and all that. Their plan is just to wait because they can't face the dragon called Nigeria. They cannot face them, no. They know. So they want the Igbos to break that dragon. When the Igbos break the gate of the dragon and enter the dragon and succeed in killing the dragon, then you see them, they'll come, they'll fight you. That's their plan, but it's not going to work. I equally have a plan for you. But before I do that, I'm going to trace the genealogy of the Igbo, the relationship between the Igbos and their Niger Delta brethren. Then after tracing it, anything you want, I give it to you. So IPOP will not form any government in Biafra. You are not going to form any government. You understand me? So you better disband, I better have a collegiated group. All of us come and decide what to do about Biafra. From Namdekal is an ordinary member, ordinary floor member. All of us will have equal rank. All of us will deal with debate issues. So all those ones you are doing this, you are wasting your time. It's not going to work. So when you see them talking their supreme leader, it's just because of the monthly contribution that they are making. So the international community that are sponsoring them want them to be this strong so that any opposition that comes, they must. I'm going to fight all the whole world leader. I will fight them, I will defeat them, and I get Biafra out of their hand. I think a boy defined Biafra as born in agony, fighting to remain alive, and that is what it is. We are going to fight to remain alive, and we are going to remain alive. That is how it is. So your plot is not going to work. There's no need. It's not going to work. You will not succeed. So all the Biafrans who are sabotaging Biafra because, look, let me tell you, if an honest referendum is conducted in Biafra land today, under Nnamdi Kanu's leadership in Biafra land, I swear to you, if Nigeria can say, I forgive you people, and promise better things to come, and you go and conduct a referendum in Biafra land, authentic one, with this present type of members and all that. Look, the result will be gone with one Nigeria. You see these vagabonds you bring out here, are they the human beings that were from Biafra? The Biafran person is not these fools. This does not represent the image of Biafra. These are hooligans that should be vomited out, remolded and refolded. Remolded to be a vessel of honor that Biafra represents. Is it the Jajawis that you bring out, they call them that is Biafra? They don't represent that. It's not the sample person of Biafra. No, that is not. When Biafra comes, Biafrans will be the only people on earth that will go to every country of this world without visa. We are going to organize it. You can't be a criminal and you come to Biafra land. There are things you are going to put up. Now the will come and they tell you the UN and all of the confusion. You say, you give your free. Who told you that? Do you have a mandate to do that? Who are you? All of them, you distribute the oil. Then we come and face the degradation. We come and pay the degradation here. Now our oil is not going free. It's a nature gift to us. You don't know about Biafra. Biafra, look, let me tell you. There will be no resource control in Biafra land. It's going to be, everything will be unified. Biafran language will be so concretized, all the whole languages will mix together that Biafran will speak every language, one language, in future. That is it. There will be no tribe in Biafra land, all these Igbo, all of them will go. There will be no tribe. All the whole custom, everything will, Biafra will be so integrated and concretized that you can't know every Biafran will be one, indivisible. That is how it will come. That is how it will be. And we are going to operate the strongest currency. All these brain people, they think we need them. We don't need them. All these soldiers, they are wasting their time. We are going to anchor the Biafran currency on something that is immutable, that is constant, and our currency will remain the most dominant. And we are going to call our currency the Biafran moon. It's unmovable. One Biafran moon may be equivalent to €1. Unshakable. We are going to build our economy. The collateral and the foundation of our economy will be based on human capital development and agriculture. Forget about it. It will be solid forever and ever. No matter how many years it comes, it will be constant until you become the global dominant currency all over the world. So if I pop say they are forming government in Biafra land, it will not work out. I will fight you and I will defeat all of you when the time comes. Go and watch what I'm telling you. Everything I'm telling you, that is exactly what is going to happen. So all those you are making arrangements, you are going to distribute Nigerian oil free. It cannot work. And let me tell you, we are going to have different colors of ID card in Biafra land when Biafra comes. We will have different colors. So all these political traitors that think they are doing this, they are doing that, they think they go free. We are going to have different colors of ID cards. You know, people like Modo, they are going to take a color and their descendants, a color of ID card, it may be red. That for 100 years, their generations will work in the prison yard or at mortuary. That body, that is, no matter whatever they go, they do 100 years, their descendants will work there. That is how we are going to do it. We are going to categorize the Biafran ID card will be the most foolproof document in this world. It cannot be imitated. And every Biafran must have an ID card. We are going to make sure there are ID cards we will give to people that will never work in the national security. We are going to differentiate things. All this one in the world court, say Igbo or whatever they call him. Okay, let him finish and come. We tell him where he belongs. So all these saboteurs, all these traitors. We are going to have a Biafran war. We are going to have a Macedonian for traitors. All this Okarawas and all that. That is, we use it for a Macedonian of traitors. We will embalm you people and put you there forever and ever. You think it's a joke? All these supposed are the man and all that. Let the time come, I'm going to show Biafrans what we are going to do. I'm going to show them what we are going to do, and we are going to deal with all of you. You think it's a joke? Yeah, just all these ones that are in assembly, yeah, you're looking at engineer, but him. Let the Biafra come, all your properties, we are going to seize them. You think a time will come in Nigeria, in Biafra, even in Nigeria, even at Biafra is in Nigeria, when they call you to go and represent Biafra at the center, you will say you will never go, and you will never go. So there are things we have in stock for you. You understand me? A lot of things, there's no need to talk too much. I say different colors of ID. We have it. Those with mixed blood, we will state how many years of their generation they will be marrying only our own people before they be qualified to have the rare correct ID card. So we are going to have different colors of ID cards. All these governors and all that, they are doing all that. We are going to deal with you by the time we finish with you, unless your children cut off your head and throw your head from the window. That's the only thing that can save you. Save your descendants. They have to identify themselves now. We are now going to start to build wall of fame. The other day, the Anambra governor paid, they said if they kill somebody 500,000 and all that. We need somebody to, so that Biafrans will pay him 1 million naira. So we need heroes who will go and justify, carry out operations so that they lose and collect 500,000. We need people, suicide squad. Suicide squad. That's what we need now. When they start their killings, all this Dangote trailer movement, corn oil and all that from Port Harcourt to, you take away all those checking points from A to Z. Any terrorist is in Nigeria, in Biafra land is a terrorist, not big group, small group. Each person, even one person form a gang, have a specific target that you want to go and achieve. And this one, they're killing Biafra, they bury you in shallow grave and all that. When you kill them, let their corpse disappear. Don't even allow their corpse to be seen. Go and look in a grave, dig it, carry their uniform, carry their weapons, everything you see. You go on operation. Offensive, guerrilla warfare, that's what you're going to do. So if they tell you to come back, don't ever make the mistake of congregating at a place where they will separate you. Nambekali is looking for a plane you use, and it's going to be a street fight. I'll tell you how we are going to fight it. We are going to fight it in 3 locations. If they refuse to allow Biafran to go, one location is London, Britain, United Kingdom. We are going to fight this war there, and we fight it in Yoruba land, and we are going to fight it in Hausa land, Fulani land. We are going to physically strangulate Britain. Physically. All the whole blacks all over the world. We are going to fight the war, fight the wives on the streets of the whole war capitals everywhere. If they refuse their plans to go. Burn down everywhere. We are going to fight it and we are going to die it. Britain will be the first country that we are going to strangulate and it will die. Look at this and Madek, all those are mothers. No matter how much they have stolen, it's not your business. Go and get Mike, I don't look at them. Go and get all of them. They stole a lot of our money. If you don't get them and you start to abuse our mothers, it cannot work. I don't care about the governors. Instead of using the money to develop their people, they steal their money. But it's Charles and Madeke. You see Okonji-Iweala. You see Eyoeta. You see, where is it? Where are these our mothers? You know, you see, where is this one at the airport, at the Senate? Where is this my sister from Enugu, the one that did the Enugu airport and all that? You know, where is I don't forget her name? Those are our mothers. You go and try with any of them and you say you're making rubbish with any of them. You're looking for something you've never seen before in your life. You're looking for big, great trouble. You're looking for real big, great trouble. Say P, E, and D and all that. They paid Nigeria these days. They are returning a battery load. I can even tell Nigeria what to do. What are you going to do? Check, calculate the interest of those money. These criminals, these people are criminals. All these Western nations, they are criminals. Go and all those Abacha, go and calculate the interest. By the time you calculate all the whole interest is supposed to be the same way they calculated the P, E, and D contract for you. Calculate it on compound interest. Calculate it. By the time you calculate it, you find out that they are owing us maybe $300 trillion. So give them the check and let them take their money from there and give us the balance. So you don't need to pump all the attention. And when this crisis will start, all the whole assets, all the whole British assets and the American assets, we are going to burn and destroy all of them. They are going to be mad, mutual assured destruction. So all these ones you are doing is just by the way I'm coming, you know. So let me still continue to read what I said. So Nnamdi will tell you, Biafra, you will be given free. Then when they give it free, all the excavation hosts and all that, you come and supply it. The people they give the oil free, you know, they will stay there and be enjoying it. You're talking rubbish. You don't know what you're talking. So all I'm saying, you know, this is where I'm still reading what I wrote to Seven Nnamdi. Go in Biafra land and ask bushes to locate their laundered foot soldiers in Biafra land to make them know where to strike when hostility starts. Then, in the middle of the crisis, before United Nations will intervene, Muhammadu Buhari, the president, will be assassinated in a coup plot unknown to people, will be carried out by his chief of army staff as arranged by his foreign paymasters in order to make peace possible, which was why Buratai, creating a future alibi to cover his track when the deal will be done, as he raised alarm of a coup plot against Buhari without any arrest to back up his alarm till date. I will explain you. Buratai said there were people are planning to overthrow Buhari. Since he made that comment, was there any person arrested? People think I'm joking. Look at it, 2017, that was when I wrote this thing. But look at what is happening today. Then let me show you about the assassination of Buhari, like I said. I said, in the middle of the crisis, before United Nations will intervene, Muhammadu Buhari, the president, will be assassinated in a coup plot unknown to people, will be carried out by his chief of army staff as arranged by his foreign paymasters in order to make peace possible, which was why Buratai, creating a future alibi to cover his track when the deal will be done, as he raised alarm of a coup plot against Buhari. Now, they have already set Buhari up to be murdered. I will show you one document. So look at this, look at this news report. It said Buhari has failed Nigerians, says Northern Elders. This is Punch of February 10, 2020. He said the Northern Elders Forum said on Sunday the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, had failed to secure and pilot the affairs of the Nigerian nation. The Professor Ango Abdullahi-led Northern Elders Forum stated this at a press conference on the state of the nation in Zaria, Kaduna State on Sunday. The Director, Advocacy and Engagement of the Northern Elders Forum and the former Secretary of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, who read the text of the press conference, said Buhari has failed not only the North, but the entire country with his style of leadership. Notable Northerners at the briefing included a former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Marshal Alamin Dagash, retired, Secretary of the Coalition of Northern Group, Abdullahi Osman, and the Northern Elder Forum Chairman, Professor Ango Abdullahi, Ambassador Yahaya Kwande, Deputy National Chairman of NEF, Alhaji Bello Kofi, Kifi, Waziri Bauchi, DIG Labaran, Alhaji Yakubu Shehu, former Managing Director of the Deformed Banks of the North, Hajia Amina Yahaya, among others, saying that they were disappointed by the Buhari's regime in terms of the security of lives and property of Nigerians. The NEF called for the change of the nation's service chiefs. I want you to note, call for the change of the what? Nation service chiefs. The forum demands a thorough overhaul of the leadership of our security and public safety agencies and the injection of higher levels of competence, integrity, and accountability in the manner our troops and the police and security agencies deal with security challenges, the forum said. The Northern Elders recalled that prior to the 2019 election, they had warned Nigerians that Buhari lacked the will, the competence, and commitment to make the country a secure and prosperous nation. The left said the forum regrets that by any standard of judgment, the leadership of President Muhammad Buhari has failed the nation in the vital areas of improving its security, poverty, particularly in the north, and massive social security have worsened under the administration. The relationship between insecurity and poverty is fundamental, but the administration does not appear to have any idea on what will provide a relief or solution. It is shocking that in spite of unprecedented consensus among Nigerians that the administration require a new resolve, approach, and leadership in the fight against the nation's multiple security challenges. President Buhari appears either totally isolated or in deep denial over the result of his failures to secure Nigeria. With this type of mindset, it is difficult to see how President Buhari can accept the challenge to radically improve his handling of our security situation. There is no need to continue. What does it tell you? Buhari himself has been set up by his own people to be eliminated. That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. You see the Northern Elders castigating him, castigating the service chiefs, because they know what is in the offing. They know that all these people, all of them will be eliminated. That is why for the first time you see them appearing holier than thou. You see them? When it happened, you go say, yeah, the Northern Elders said it. But look at it, this is the plot. That's exactly what they are taking, and you will see how these service chiefs will be eliminated. This is what I wrote in 2017. You have seen what they plotted against Buhari. And already I said, Biafrans in the Nigerian army and other security forces will be sent to the north to fight Boko Haram, where they will be rounded up and slaughtered when they start their jihad. Therefore, Biafrans in the armed forces should depart with their weapons to defend their fatherland in Biafra land. Those of them that can disguise as Hausa Fulani should remain and fight them from inside. You see, that is exactly what I wrote in 2017. Look at what is happening today. How they are killing Biafrans everywhere. Boko Haram was created by Olusegun Obasanjo, former President Bill Clinton, former United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan, and other members of the Deep State or New World Order through Operation Focus Relief to train jihadists to overrun the east and occupy the oil deposit, but later put on hold when Obasanjo sold Bakassi Peninsula to them. Unknown to the world till my expose, Bakassi Peninsula is the biblical ancient lost garden of Eden that is central to all these crises in Nigeria today, near the world. It's a topic for another day. After the sale of Bakassi and the Green Tree Agreement, unity of Nigeria not negotiable. Indeed, Obasanjo should produce the legislature approval of this sale of his sale of a part of the unbreakable our country, Nigeria, to Cameroon, that shows Nigeria is no more. Then they wanted more territories after Bakassi. They wanted Obudu and the environment, which was why today Nigerian army is still holding on to Obudu to succeed and make it easier for them with approval of Bola Ajibola, who will see the area to them in their mixed commission boundary adjustment. Chief Richard Akinji, the Mike Adenuga, and the Babangidas and so on and so forth that owns Globacom, because Green Tree is Globacom early palm tree mass, as most of the money from Bakassi were laundered through the establishment of Globalcom, OK Free Zone in Ogun State, and so on and so forth. To succeed, they kidnapped the Chibok school girls using the first set of Boko Haram jihadists created at Operation Focus Relief to pretend to help in their release through Cameroon to win favor from then President Jonathan and make him amenable to their annexation plot, which they changed when they used the same Boko Haram to remove Jonathan and bring Buhari to power, who is now using them to slaughter Biafran. This same Bill Clinton group are behind the nonsense scam of Russia election made in the US. They also plotted and executed the 9/11 attack on America through Saudi Arabia government using Bin Laden as a foreguy. How the deal was done are documented and sent to President Donald Trump through his then chief strategist Steve Bannon on 7/7/2017. Unknown to the world, this plot of elimination of Muhammadu Buhari and the planned slaughter in Biafra land is the key to more than 5-century-old puzzle prophecy of the French astrologer Nostradamus on the event that will lead to the coming of the Antichrist and World War III, when he wrote, Mabuse, I quote him, Mabuse will soon die, and there will happen a dreadful destruction of people and animals. Suddenly, vengeance will appear, 100 hands, thirst and hunger when the comet passes. End of quote. It's referring to events in Biafra land. The mystery Mabuse that have defied the brain of all wise sages of the past centuries is Muhammad Buhari. The little tyrant is Mabuse. Americans should check what has been happening to their country since the last total solar eclipse and quantum calamity to them, or even revisit the vision of their father, George Washington, on when the comet runneth. Nigeria and America, the only two ego nations in the whole world, America with their spangled ego, Nigeria with their ego on the horses, the great comet is eclipsing these two nations. Nigeria, as America gradually, and this is a prophecy for America, listen, and it's coming to pass, as America gradually winds down to the end of its great democracy in heart of their evil leaders, Biafra will come in the name of Jesus Christ, not in the name of Chukwu Okabiama. Chukwu Okabiama of the Old Testament is still the same Jesus Christ of the New Testament that makes it the good news gospel. That is what the book of Revelation is mostly about, confirming that Jesus is God. And Biafra restoration is the last end-time practical miracle to prove that Jesus is God. Biafra is Shiloh come back. It's not about Igbos. Therefore, all those so-called men of God speaking against Biafra are Balaam, who don't know their God, as Nigeria winds down to an inglorious end. We meet again soon in Jesus' name. Note, when they start, communication, internet services, banks, and so on and so forth will be cut off. People should stop food, water, and other necessities. Chinyere Ezog, the income writer. Look at it. That was in 2007. This was the letter I wrote that saved Nnamdi Kanu. That was what their people got. And they made all effort to save his life. America is already going to be fireable. This America are looking will divide. America will split into two. Go and look what I'm telling you is to happen. So that's about the letter. So still back on the decode. Let me just try this decode, from where I start. So I've explained about how I stayed in Nnamdi Kanu when they wanted to carry out this operation, and that is exactly what they want to do now, which is more the more reason why he should shift his father's burial, as I said. And now I'm still quoting them. I'm still going back to my decode, of that, of what they wrote. I said, fighters who marry slaves, he quickly said they should be killed. The killing spread to 11 persons. I want you to note, I'm decoding what they said. This is the speech. I repeat it. Fighters who marry slaves, he quickly said they should be killed. The killing spread to 11 persons. End of quote. All these are very direct operational orders of arranged events that will be triggered, that will be triggering or act as a last command to action to each of the people or their soldiers in different locations. The first signal is what they plan to do to Nnamdi Kanu, that the information they will like to spread, which will trigger the action across the country, especially in those areas of Biafra land. The troops stationed at Advert should immediately start the jihad of killing everyone in sight in Abia State. The killing spread to 11 persons means they should immediately commence jihad in the whole of the 5 states of the southeast and the whole of the 6 states of the south-south. That is, now I'm interpreting this one. Malam at the bank. Malam at the bank. Following in agreement and so on and so forth. Malam at the bank. That's the end of the quote. What does it mean? It means the order for robbery of banks and destroying them. Killing everybody there. Killing of Nnamdi Kanu. Killing of all those people, areas, Christians supporting Buhari. All of them are to be killed. All the banks, they are going to rob all the banks. That was what they planned then before he escaped to Israel. Then I'm quoting again. You killed Amir Falia because he was close to Abdul Malik. When he entered, he never came out. The same way you killed Bagoma because he bought a house in Amchidi. With your hand, you killed Bagoma. With your hand, you killed him. Bagoma came on a bike and you just killed him. Are you sure it is Islam you are doing? Killing war commanders and clerics. End of quote. Do you know what they're referring to? I will not tell you what they're referring to. Say direct operational instruction to different chains of killers on their specific targets. And the revelation I will make on this stanza will clearly show us what I have seen. What I've been saying for a very long time now, that Oju Zokalo is an Antichrist agent. His media outfit are equally fronts of the Antichrist that showcase their game plan. Quote, you killed Amir Faluya because he was close to Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik in this context means Muhammadu Buhari. Amir Faluya is Alhaji Muhammad Dan Ali, defense minister. Look at the inserted picture of President Buhari and his service chiefs taken at the graduation ceremony of Course 24, NDC Abuja on the 5th by their agents, and inserted exactly where it is placed on page 5 of the Saturday Telegraph of 6 August 2016. It is a very clear message for the assassination. Immediately the jihad commenced, so that all the evidence that will point to their foreign backers will be burned with their death. First-class trained killers, probably very close to them, have been designated to assassinate all of them. Go to the internet. This was in the internet before. You will never see that edition. You will never see that picture. You will see how they stand, and that was how that order was passed. And this order was passed on that page in that newspaper. That was where they placed that picture. You killed Bagoma. I'm quoting them. You killed Bagoma because he bought a house in Amchide. The man that is killing, don't look at how they plan to wipe out Buratai. I'm repeating, look at Buratai. Let this thing get to him. Let him know that himself. After that is why Buhari have not changed his service chiefs. That is why they insisted. They are forcing him to keep them. That is why the northern elders are saying what they are saying. Because after their slaughter, this slaughter now, they have used the father's burial to trigger on Biafra land. When they finish it, they will eliminate all these people. Then reconciliation will come. They have set up a reconciliation committee. They will say, let bygone be bygone. The Rwanda experience. Then they will beg everybody, call everybody to be together. Even Igbos, they will even make them to be president. Or if they want referendum, they will not go because their numbers have outside. The Amajiris, more than 1 million that march into Nigeria, more than 3 million that march into Nigeria. They are located, they are resettled. You do a referendum, is go on with one Nigeria, and Biafra agitation will close. That is their hope. That's what I'm revealing to you. So now look at the quote. I'm quoting them. You killed Baguma because he bought a house in Amchide. End of quote. It's referring to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai. You understand me? That house in Amchide means houses is bought at Dubai. You know when they were accusing him that he bought houses at Dubai. That is him. All of them have been earmarked to be eliminated. Other subsequent paragraphs, I'm quoting, let me quote again. You remember where you used to stay in one location, meaning elimination of the service chief during Security Council meeting. Storm there and eliminate all of them, including the guys protecting them. Agents they are using in Biafra land. People like Wazirike, they are marked to eliminate all of them. All those connected to the evil activities that they have been using, like Oleso Yinka, Adiboye, are all marked to be eliminated, including Lai Mohammed. All of them are to be murdered, and immediately after their murder, their killers are commanded to move away immediately from Nigeria, to disappear into other countries. Edwin Clark, Rotimi Amoichi, Muike Akpabio, Ike Kuremado, and many others, all of them are to be eliminated, both including the soldiers of Carlo de Lotto. We are going to remove all of them. Now look at this one. You killed Mustafa, you killed Kakali, and you told women that they died in the war. But insiders knew that you killed them. It was Aliyu that you asked to call one of them. You remember where we used to stay in one location. On getting there one day, they called the man guiding the place. When he came, you killed him. When the second man appeared, you repeated the same. From that moment, did we not start falling and losing the war? You can't think and repent. When we fought in Fidesz in Baga, did you remember the bravery? The same way you killed one man on trivial ground. Is it not you that killed Majid? Is it not you that killed Omar? Is it not you that killed Abu Mariam and Miyadid and Miyahid? were killed together by you, and so on and so forth. You understand me? Straight orders. This one means straight orders to those who will assassinate General Ibrahim Babangida and General Abdulsalami Abubakar. Let it get to all of them that they are using. All of them, they are marked to kill all of you. That's what I'm decoding for you. Straight orders to those who will assassinate General Ibrahim Babangida and General Abdulsalami Abubakar. That is Mustafa. You killed Kakali. Kakali means Babangida. Mustafa means Abdulsalami Abubakar. Now look at their quote. It was Ali you asked to call one of them. Aliyu means Ali Gusu. Recall Buhari interview to the interview magazine on why IBB ousted me. Recall Buhari's interview to the interview magazine on why IBB ousted me to stop Gusu sacking for corruption. His ouster on August 27, 1985, the then head of military intelligence, Ali Gusu, now their quote, remember where we used to stay together in one location, end of quote, means hilltop mansions in Niger State. Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar in their country home in Mena, our neighbors. Others have to do with the elimination of Obasanjo, Tinubu, Wazirike, Asari Dokubo, Gowon, Danjuma, all of them from A to Z, including Ojus Okala, Atiku Abubakar, Sultan of Sokoto, Emir of Kano, from A to Z, are all to be assassinated in the middle of the crisis when they have succeeded in clearing the Biafran ISIS. You understand me? From that moment, did we not start falling and losing the war? That is the quote. That meaning, when these people have been assassinated, especially Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar, when the war will be brought, then the war will be brought to a close and people are called to embrace peace. You understand me? I'm quoting them. When Malam Omar was going to honor Shekau's invitation, he called me and explained that Shekau had sent for him, but he herself was pleading for forgiveness. When he told me, I said he should believe in Allah and submit to his faith. When Omar went, Shekau came out and asked for a knife and a dagger very close to the river. Shekau killed Omar. End of quote. Now, my decode. It's a direct order for the elimination of former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in Bayelsa State. People have been assigned to murder him. The quote, when Malam Omar, that is President Jonathan, was going to honor, end of quote, that is Abuja, Shekau means Buhari, he said, believe in Allah and submit to his faith, refers to when Boko Haram asked the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan to convert to Islam in order to get peace from them. Shekau here could not assassinate, delegated to assassinate Jonathan, that I'm quoting them, came out and asked for a knife and a dagger very close to the river, end of quote, meaning Jonathan in Bayelsa State, very close to River State, quote, and killed Omar, means and assassinated President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Another instance is the comment. Now, look at it. Is it not you, I'm quoting them, is it not you that killed Mujahid? Is it not you that killed Omar? Is it not you that killed Abu Mariam? Abu Mariam and Mujahid were killed together by you. What did they do to you? Can people tell you the truth? End of quote. Order for the assassination of the three personalities mentioned. Mujahid, assassination of Asari Dokubo. Omar, we have seen, is President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Abu Mariam means the impatient Jonathan. Abu Mariam means Abuja Madam. All of them in one location of Bayelsa State. That is for the elimination. That is what they plan for them. Then, continue. I'm still continuing. Under case of Shekau's insensitivities, abandoning fighters to hunger, as well as women and children who go without food, and so on and so forth, means ordered imposition of blockade. Nothing comes in from Lagos or Northern Axis anymore. Total blockade of Biafran land by sea, air, and land, and a repeat of starvation being a legitimate instrument of war. A repeat of the kind of hunger malnutrition that began Koshoko during the war will be imposed on Biafran, which will result in mass death out of what? Out of hunger. This is what I wrote in 2017. Look at it. Look at the border closure. And that is what Hope Uzodinma told you that he supported Buhari. Have you seen what he came to do? You are looking at the face of death when you are looking at him, and we are going to chase him out of that place. Look at Kate, what I wrote in 2017. Now, it's the audio was played, and Shekau was saying the following, and I'm quoting what Shekau said: "The children are dying. Let even 100,000 die now. Nonsense. Am I the one holding them? I can only do what I can. Am I here to breed babies? You keep disturbing me. Who told you my duty is to look after babies? Who told you my duty is to look after fighters? If this is what you are talking about, then it is you that should look after me." Means very direct order to kill all children and their mothers, including pregnant women. They are to search hospitals, children home, and kill them. A repeat of what King Herod did when baby Jesus was born, as he ordered the killing of the whole children born within that period in the hope of killing the baby Jesus, whom he saw as a threat to his kingdom. This is why they entered into vaccination. This is what they are doing. Go and watch what is going to happen in Nigeria. Go and watch how Biafrans will be cleared out, from now 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Go and look at the type of diseases that will develop and how many people will be dying, That's what happened. Look at it, 2017. Even when I'm quoting them, even when fighters advance towards enemies, Shekau doesn't make logistics available for fighters. What does it mean? The other time, I'm quoting them, the other time, we lost plenty of gas and fuel to fire. It means direct order to destroy all filling stations and gas outlets in Biafra land. Anything the enemy can use as a counter-offensive are to be completely burnt and destroyed. That is what it means. Then I'm still quoting them. Another thing that made us leave you is because you don't listen to your cabinet. If we follow Shekau, we will never make heaven. That is why we left. That's why we left. Stop giving opinionated fatwa. You don't listen and accept our views. Even Boko Haram founder, killed in 2009, Mohammed Yusuf, he would write his Friday preachings and table it before us for debate and scrutiny. We will collectively go through and work on it, but you refuse to do the same. Are you more educated than Mohammed Yusuf? Is it not in my place that you were studying with your 2 items of clothes and under a tree in Medugli? End of quote. The operational leaders of various segments of their killer squads are to meet in a mosque and review all their plans of war. The attack is slated to commence on a Friday. 2 items of clothes under a tree in Medugri. That is a quote. It means when they have reviewed their war plans for the operation, as the operation starts, as they live with only 2 things. They are going to live with only 2 things: guns and ammunition. Trees, meaning people, the killing will start. 2 items, their guns and ammunition. It is important to stress here that most of the fighters that will be used in this war, which they don't expect to last long anticipated any serious reaction, are fighters from abroad. Colored fighters, highly trained and experienced in the art of war from all over the world, especially from neighboring African countries like Chad, Niger, Northern Cameroon, Central African Republic, and so on and so forth, mixed up with the Boko Haram fighters, which is the reason they claim the terror war at the northeast has been won, because these fighters have already been integrated into the attacking force against their imagined Islamic Caliphate territory, Biafra land. They are being laundered at Fulani herdsmen and are presently all camped in bushes in the jurisdictions of their various operational areas. When the signal is given to their already coded in this message, here we are on our own. That means they are camped inside the bushes in Biafra land. Can't you see? I'm quoting them. Can't you see we left their empire? Can't you see how we left their empire? We left women and everything and just left with guns and just left with guns on our shoulders. We would have crushed anyone that stood on our way. It's a dual-coded message. The first is that to reach over some of the people they will assassinate, they have to disguise as Fulani herdsmen. Have you seen it? It says, secondly, as it concerns Biafra land, of note is that outer Fulanis have come in their hundreds of thousands inside the bushes with their families. As soon as the slaughter in Biafra land is complete, the outer Fulanis and numerous others of their type, who had for long now been practicing on how to become or look like Biafran, wearing our clothes and so on and so forth, will now occupy most of the houses of Biafra. They have murdered. Biafran, they have murdered. When the international community comes to investigate, no mass grave will be noticed because bodies have been fed to crocodiles, and when the issue of referendum comes up, they will readily agree to that as their population disguised as the indigenes of the areas will be on the increase enough to achieve a year for government. which is go on with one Nigeria. And that permanently will be the end of the whole thing. Normalcy will return. Fridays will be agreed to be a work-free day, which is the reason for the tentative declaration of 2 non-working days in Imo State by Madam Okorocha Rochas, a foremost agent of the Hausa Fulanis. Igbo land and the whole of Biafra land will see mosques sprang up everywhere. Nigeria will become like Turkey, initially an almost 75% predominantly Christian country. Today, the last 6 churches in Turkey have been demolished on orders from the government. That is exactly how they will have programmed Nigeria to be for peace, to reign. Are you willing to accept that? That is exactly how they have programmed Nigeria to be for peace, to reign. Are you willing to accept that? Another thing, I'm quoting them, another thing is that Shako doesn't make weapons available to fighters. People fighting a war are left with no weapons. We have lost many territories in our emerging Islamic caliphate to infidels because of their laxity. Imagine Islamic, I'm quoting, end of quote. Imagine Islamic caliphate means Biafra land, south, and southeast areas. No weapon will be available in the barracks. All Satan soldiers will be demobilized. In the whole armed forces, when hostility starts, none of them will be allowed to be in possession of their weapons, as they will be disarmed probably a day or two before the commencement of operation for those of them who have not been disarmed before then. Many of them will be rounded up and killed. Certainly, all the big names in the army, the whole of the armed forces, retired army generals like Ihe Jirika and others like him will be assassinated immediately or taken alive, in his own case, to be fed to crocodiles after a grueling suffering and torture of his person. This was, I'm quoting them, this was the beginning of our revolt against you. If you leave us alone, we will leave you alone. If you continue antagonizing us, we will also continue. If you repent, we will accept you and embrace you. You should repent and fear Allah. That is the open letter to you. End of quote. It is as open as the writer indicated. The Muslims are writing to the people of Biafra, to the Christians in the targeted areas in their emerging Islamic caliphate, that they should repent and be converted to Islam, for them to be left alone. Otherwise, they perish. In other ways, it's either you take the Quran or the sword. The choice is yours. This is the open letter to you. And already in Imo State, they have accepted it. In Igbo land, they have accepted it. Because IPOB have succeeded in brainwashing the people that Jesus is fake. And on Chuko Kabiama. So the Igbos particularly see Muslims and Christians as the same. That they are worshipping the same God, and that the difference is Jesus. And that Jesus did not exist. That Jesus is a fabrication of the white man. That is what they have used IPOB to achieve in Igbo land. That makes people not so much enthusiastic again at, going in the direction of their faith. That is Christianity, because IPOB have watered down the idea about Jesus. And they believe that Islam and Christianity are the same. That is one bad thing, indoctrination, that they use IPOB to do. So that is what they are telling you. So the people of Igbo land are not even prepared for war. They have already agreed. They want to accept Islam and live. That's already the situation, to be very frank with you. So that's an open letter to you. I've told you, still quoting them. In our Shura meeting, there was a complaint that jihadist wives were taken away while they were fighting for Allah. What did you do? You did nothing, and fighters saw how you don't bother about their welfare. You just go home and sleep with your wives and slaves while we are suffering. We are not with you. That's the end of quote. It's very simple and straightforward. The promise of the occultic heaven by promise of provision 5 virgins are to be met in Biafra land. They are to carry away Biafran guests of their choice as booty of war to their home. That is the simple instruction. Go with wives and slaves of your choice. The question is now to you Biafrans. Are you going to allow that your wife, that your sisters, that your daughters, that you love so much, that takes her bath 3 times a day to be carried away and ravaged by the decades of all these damn people of the earth, the outer Fulani, Akwa. The choice is yours. Are you going to bow down to bow in place of your God and Savior Jesus Christ? The choice is yours. For me and my house, for me and my like, we must permanently and finally halt and eclipse the predatory inclination and ambition of the outer Fulani daily parasitic incursion into our ancestral homes in Biafra land with the last drop of our blood. It is either victory or death of all. And the time to act is now. Whereas, as the previous administration in the country has chastised the people of the former Eastern region with whip, Buhari's administration pointedly chastised the people of the former Eastern region with scorpion. His only developmental agenda for the region is to carry away of their natural resources to the development of his northern region, supplanting the development of the former Eastern region with the roaming cow and the killer Fulani herdsmen that destroy their farmland, kill them at will, and go scot-free. Instead of listening to the complaint of the people and address it, his response to them has always been, I will crush you, which obviously, as we can clearly see, have been upgraded to total elimination of the people, and we cannot allow that to happen to us. We are the generation that the final battle for freedom has come upon, and God in his wisdom knows that we are able to confront and surmount the challenges, and as we wrest our freedom victory from the hands of Lucifer and his human agents, we have courage, and courage does not accept defeat. We are not going to shame our fathers who handed this final battle, to us, as we fight a good fight, knowing that our God and Savior Jesus Christ has already conquered and gave us victory. So we are not fighting a war we don't know the outcome. The outcome is that we are victorious as we guide our lion and march into battle like onward Christian soldiers. So this is a war we are going to win. Now, I will show the world exactly what will surprise them. I've said it before, but I want to repeat it again for emphasis. When you go back to the speech of John Kerry that was made in Sokoto on August 23, 2016, go to that speech and you go to the subheading, Denouncing Dead-End Ideologies. Now, I'm quoting from it. Note the date when this speech was written, 2016. There is no question in recent months that important progress has been made, and particularly here in Nigeria. Over the last 6 months, the Nigerian army has rescued thousands of civilian hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian forces. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group leaders who admitted that they were running out of food, that their fighters were living off fruits and unripe fruits. And just last week, their army thwarted an attack in the northeast and took out more than a dozen militants in the process. I want you to take notice of what he said. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group's leaders who admitted that they were running out of food. Now, still continuing with what he said. I'm still quoting him. The fact is that through the multinational joint task force with help from the United States, France, and the United Kingdom, Nigeria and its neighbors are steadily degrading Boko Haram capabilities. Their country has taken back most of the territory that the terrorists had once captured, and Cameroon, Niger, and Chad and Benin have made important contributions and enormous sacrifices in areas along Nigerian borders. These are their collaborators that they are using to finish the Biafrans. I'm still continuing with the quote. But we also know that beating Boko Haram on the battlefield is only the beginning of what we need to do. As the American writer Henry David Thoreau wrote, is in quote, there are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to only one who is striking at the root. So we have, end of quote, so we have to strike at the root cause of violent extremism. You see, to win the struggle for the future, nations need to do more than just denounce bankrupt, dead-end ideologies that the terrorists support. Strike at the root cause. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to only one who is striking at the root. So we have to strike at the root cause of violent extremism. It means that when you kill the Biafran men, their children will grow up and continue the fight. So eliminate all the whole Biafran children. That is what it means here. And that is why they are using vaccination to eliminate them. Then, so we have to strike at the root cause of violent extremism. To win the struggle for the future, nations need to do more than just denounce bankrupt, dead-end ideologies that the terrorists support. They also have to offer their citizens an alternative that is better, that offers hope, that actually delivers on his promises. Then I want you to go back and notice the one he said, where he said, hundreds of Boko Haram fighters, I'm quoting him, surrendered to Nigerian forces. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group leaders who admitted that they were running out of food. Note, when did he make this statement? 2016. 2016, that is when it moved. When did I decode it? I decoded it in 2016. And this is my decode. I'll give you what I wrote in my journal that time. I'm quoting him. There is no doubt our combined efforts, this is what interpretation. There is no doubt our combined efforts have yielded very important progress in your country, Nigeria. Over the last 6 months, our military wing in the form of the Nigerian army, this is my interpretation of what he said, has succeeded in turning hundreds of Biafran hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters have newly been added into the army. Among them are many well-trained top Boko Haram commanders, about 16 of them. They are well-trained and know what to do as you place them as commanders of their different troops. Through them and others, you and the president are to ensure total economic blockade on the Biafrans and the soldiers are to be instructed to destroy all farmlands and planted crops in Biafra land to the extent that even roots and unripe fruits will not be available for them to eat. In fact, they are to burn all farmlands and uproot every fruit-bearing plant in Biafra land. The Boko Haram commanders in the Operation Crocodile Smile must ensure they capture and destroy every militant in the Niger Delta. Look at it. That is what I decoded in 2016. Look at it. I decoded it and look at what is happening today. And you heard when he mentioned, when John Kelly was talking about 16 surrendered Boko Haram. Now look at it. Today, fast forward these things that happened, both my decode and his speech in 2016, to the present realities as of today. Let me quote some newspaper report for you. You say, hungry Boko Haram fighters surrender to Nigerian army. That is the Nation, October 10, 2019. Check what we decoded in 2016 to 2019. Now, let me give you another one that will surprise you. There's no need because there's no time. You say, 16 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists surrender as troops arrest criminal elements nationwide. This is Vanguard of November 8, 2019. 16, the same number he mentioned in 2016. Look at it, 2019. They replicated it. Look at it, 2016. Now let me read the report for you. In continuation of clearance operation against terrorists in Northeast and criminal elements in other parts of Nigeria, troop bombardment have resulted in 16 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists surrendering, making the disclosure in Abuja on Friday. Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Aminu Iliasu. Note this man. This is their signal commanders. Presently, this man and these 16 surrendered Boko Haram that John Kelly mentioned, they are presently in Biafra land. They are presently in Biafra land. They are the people that will carry out operations. These are Boko Haram people that will make Biafrans, thousands of Biafrans will disappear without any trace. You will not see them again forever and ever. This is the man that Iliasu, presently he is there. So the world is listening, and I'm repeating this news report. 16 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists surrender as troops arrest criminal elements nationwide. Vanguard, November 8, 2019. I'm reading the report. In continuation of clearance operation against terrorists in Northeast and criminal elements in other parts of Nigeria, troop bombardment have resulted in 16 Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists surrendering, making the disclosure in Abuja on Friday. Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Aminu Iliasin, said troops also intercepted and arrested several Boko Haram logistics suppliers and informants in Northeast, as well as eliminated some bandits and other criminal elements in the Northwest and other parts of the country. The Army said, and I'm quoting the Army, on 1st November 2019, for instance, 16 insurgents, along with 8 of their spouses, who could no longer bear the heat from the onslaught against them, surrendered to the relentless troops of Sector 1, Multinational Joint Task Force at Photocall. Subsequently, the surrendered insurgents were later handed over to troops of 3 battalion men at Gamboru, Ngala, a border town northeast of Borno State. During preliminary interrogation and profiling, they confessed to have actively participated in attacks conducted against both military and civilian targets at various times. It was further revealed that 14 of them, whose names are, it is of importance to the whole world, whose names are Ibrahim, Bunu, Abasel, Baba Lamba Alhaji, Buka Isa, Buka Ali, Rawa Abagana, Mustafa Abacha, Umar Abubakar, Hassan Buka, Malam Abacha Ali, Abba Umar Abacha, Hussein Babagana, Idris Muhammad, and Omar Abba Bayons all belong to the Islamic State West African Province, Israel, led by Abanawi, while the remaining two, Hassan Kawu and Babagana Buka, belong to Boko Haram Abubakar Shekau faction. The repentant insurgents, however, regretted their participation in the heinous crime they committed against humanity and are now calling on their former colleagues to retrace their steps and also surrender to truth before it is too late. They are going to produce these terrorists. These people are the people that are they are already in Biafra land. They are the people that will slaughter Biafrans. So no young boy or young girl should go to Nnamdi Kalu's father's burial. Otherwise, they are all finished. We are facing an emergency as of today. Presently, we are facing an emergency. Any killing in Biafra land, this Western power, they are responsible for it. And guerrilla warfare starts immediately, without question. So this Nnamdi Kalu must be forced to ship the burial of his father. You stoop to conquer. What they are doing is the last kick of the dying horse after this Biafra comes. I will elaborate more on what we are going to do to extricate ourselves. Already the time limit for this edition is complete. So I'm going to stop here, but I'm going to give you the procedures one by one in subsequent videos, because this one is an emergency on how we are going to extricate ourselves. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. No young boy, no young girl should be seen on that particular day if Nnamdi Kalu refuses to postpone the father's burial. Your President Muhammadu Buhari has already ordered the execution of Biafrans to eliminate the Biafrans already. Look at it, I told you, I've decoded the term violent extremism. Anytime you hear them talking about violent extremism, they are talking about you Biafrans. Look at it. Eddie Malu, violent extremism, Islam's greatest challenge, Buhari admits. This independent of November, the independent newspaper of November 10, 2019. I'm doing the report. President Muhammadu Buhari has said the greatest challenge facing the Islamic religion was the wave of violence and extremism associated with it. He said this development now constitutes an image problem for true worshippers and followers of the faith. Buhari spoke through his media aide, Garba Shehu, on Sunday in Abuja as part of his message to Muslim faithfuls on the occasion of the El Maulud, where he said, I'm quoting him, the greatest honor Muslims could do the Prophet Muhammad was to follow his shining examples of non-violence, peaceful disposition, and remarkable virtues of patience. End of quote. That is the reverse is the case. Muhammad was never a man of peace. You know what he did? Then I'm still going with the report. His goodwill message was also directed to the Muslim Ummah on the occasion of the Maulud celebration to commence the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad. President Buhari said, and I'm quoting him, putting into practice the great virtues for which the Holy Prophet Muhammad is historically famous and revered would have a far greater impact on changing our attitude and behaviors than the best sermons ever will. The indiscriminate killing of innocent people, the kidnapping of female students and forcing them into marriage and for conversion is contrary to teaching and personal examples of the Prophet Muhammad. Just put the opposite. That is what he meant. I'm still quoting him. Now listen to the other. Violent extremism is the single biggest challenge facing the image of Islam today, which has been hijacked by a minority of misguided elements who are using religion to cover up their criminal agendas. That is the Biafran they are referring to here. There is an urgent need, I'm quoting him, for increased vigilance by Muslims in order to frustrate and stop the spread of violent ideologies that are causing human havoc and tragedies around the world. Still quoting him, extremism is like cancer that needs to be attacked in its early stages before it grows malignant, out of control, and harm the society. Orders to finish you. carry your guests and rape them, just take them anyhow they are. That's the one, that's the order for the jihad. Buhari said it. We are the thing, they are the race that is called violent extremism. Go to my code, the coding of John Kerry's speech. You see it there. Now look at it. We will battle those against Nigeria, against Nigerian unity. Buhari, Punch of October 11, 2018. He said President Muhammad Buhari has revealed his readiness of his administration to contend with anyone who is working against the peace and unity of Nigeria. Buhari said this on Thursday during the visit of Eze Abdul Fattah Eze Metomma II, the Ofo of Umo Kingdom, Uguta local government area of Imo State, to the State House of Abuja. All these kings, we are going to burn all their kingdom and send them away permanently. All these criminal kings that come, look at it, Igbo man, look at him. Of Uguta, he says this. Now look at, I'm quoting Buhari. Anybody that tries to joke with the unity of this country has a problem as long as we are alive. You are dead and you will remain dead. Go and tell Paul Biya to return back to Nigeria. Go and tell him. You told when he visited Paul Biya with your wife, what did you tell him? He said, on the issue of Bakassi, put your mind at rest. And I'm telling you, on the issue of Biafra, forget about it. There's nothing like unity. He said, anybody that tries to joke with the unity of this country has a problem as long as we are alive. We are dead. Buhari said in a statement that was shared on the president's Twitter handle. You know, Buhari told members of the delegation led by the monarch that his main objective of serving as an elected public office holder is to make the country better. You see, our single objective is how to make Nigeria better, and we will never get tired. This is a jihadist. Look at idiot that have taken Nigeria, back to 1 million years back. In his remark, Eze Emetoma, this man will be dethroned, commended the president for demonstrating his love for Nigeria and Nigerians through purposeful leadership in the last 3 years. Then I'm quoting him. Your Excellency, from birth, you have had a mission for Nigeria, and you have demonstrated this in your career as a soldier, minister, head of state in PTF, and now president. You have fought for the unity of this nation, and we know very well that you won't tolerate anything that would affect its unity and our collective existence. Eze Metoma said, we are going to derope you and send you away. We are going to derope you and send you away. So look at it, the orders for your destruction have already been given. You understand me? So I'm going to, in the next series, I'll tell you exactly what we are going to do to extricate this. This is an emergency. So Nnamdi Kanu have no choice than to do what? Than to postpone the burial of his father. If he doesn't postpone it, then let our young men and our young women do not be found there, and God will disappoint them, and they will fall into the pit that they have dug for Biafrans in Jesus' name. Amen.